Hey guys, if someone hasn't actually heard about this, I don't even know what to say. I remember when I was a kid, my favorite Disney movie was Aladdin, and my favorite character was the genie. Like, who didn't want to be a genie? Um, I have always found peace knowing that comedians can make you laugh and just make life feel so crazy and beautiful, and like it makes you distracted from what's actually going on. And it's a very heavy heart that I have that Robin Williams lost the battle of the depression as I fight with it myself. That people have been, yes, I'm not even going to deny it. It's a very tragic loss to lose somebody. This is one celebrity that I think we can all just consensually sit down and cry for. And if I cried during this video, don't blame me. I was very much so inspired by Robin Williams and very much loved him and his acting and his voice acting, whatever he did. I just love that man, okay? He was a great inspiration to life. He gave a spark to it that no one else could you just couldn't do it like Robin could. You never could. I guess another purpose of this video is that if you know somebody with depression, don't brush it off that it's like, oh, they have depression. It leads to bad things, guys. It leads to death. If it goes untreated long enough, someone's going to try killing themselves, okay? I know, I'm a first-hand experiencer of that, and now this is what we need to actually fight back to depression and try to find some way to get all these people who have depression a cure. Just, let's do it. Seriously. I know, I can't say I know his exact pain, but I know what he felt generally with being depressed. I know what it feels like to be in a crowded room full of people that love you and yet still feel completely alone. I know what it feels like to have bunches of people saying, Brendan, I got your back, and still feel alone. And I can't even imagine how Robin felt. I really can't. How he knows he has millions of people behind him, and yet he still felt like he was alone. It just goes to show you that depression doesn't leave it. It'll go for anybody. If you fall into depression, you just can't operate some days. I had problems getting up out of bed some days when I was depressed. I really do kind of understand now a little more about it, that if I don't keep hope on something in life, that I'm just going to give up and die. Kill myself. I'm very, very, very touched at the fact that he's gone. I know people who've cried, okay? I haven't cried, and I just might yet go cry. I would love to just quote Abed all the time now. I don't think I'm going to, because I can't cry. All I know is I once heard a quote, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened, and I feel that's appropriate here. I remember, this is off topic, but I remember when Ed Gould, not a lot of you know him, but Ed Gould was an amazing man. He fought cancer for years and years and years. He was a great animator and a great inspiration to YouTube with Ed's World and with Tom Scott, working with them. And he died and lost his battle to cancer. Ed lost. It was a devastational week when Ed died. They had a Kickstarter. They started fighting cancer even more, and Tom Scott and his crew are still and Ed's friends are still very much so activists. And I hope that Robin Williams, his death isn't in vain. I don't want it to be in vain. If it's going to take one person changing the world because you realize, oh, this is actually an issue. It's always been an issue. Depression has never been not an issue for just somebody in their lives. It's time that we actually acknowledge that this is not just, oh, it's just depression. No, it's a serious thing. Don't screw around with it. Don't joke about it. Don't joke when other people are depressed. Be like, oh, you're just depressed, dude. I've heard people do that. I've had people say, it's just a phase. You'll be fine. Some people never become fine. Some people die. my full condolences out to his family and his friends, and I respect that they want to mourn. I will respect that greatly. And if the media doesn't want to do that, screw the media. But I, as a person, am going to respect that. Granted, I don't know what there's much I can do. I could probably write them a letter saying, I respect, I'm sorry for your loss, I feel for your loss. If there's anything I can do. Yeah, little guy in Watertown, Wisconsin, messaging, sending email letters to these people. But I don't know. I respect that people want to mourn. And I hope that there's some action taken to fight depression. I really do. And even if it's just a couple of us pushing to no end, that's what it needs to take to make this world change its view on depression. That's what people need to realize. This is serious. This is not just a phase or something that's like, oh, it's not a myth. It's a serious thing. I remember watching or listening to his voice in many of my favorite cartoons. Robots is another one of them. Yeah, that was when I was older, but I still love that. Still love Rob. Look back at all those wonderful movies he made and be like, we lost one of the finest. I just watched a beautiful 20-second clip from Tobuscus. And he's like, it felt like I lost a family member. Yeah, I felt like I just lost that uncle who could, no matter how bad of a day I was having, he could tell a joke and it would all be better. I feel that way. I never met him personally, and I really actually wanted, one day, if I could, I wanted to meet him and sit down and have lunch with him. Rest in peace. Robin, rest in peace.